Welcome to A Little Help podcast, where understanding life cycles can lead to bigger and better changes. Okay, we're going to be talking about the youngins and church today.
What was that look?
And we have Mignon and Mike.
Eminem.
Uh-oh.
So, I talked about growing up in church. And, of course, being so young, you really don't learn a lot, with St. Timothy, okay, pass the candy down, type of.
That's what church was for you?
What are you really learning when you're a kid?
That's why you go to Sunday school, right?
Yeah, but then you're coloring the pictures of Jesus. And
but you're supposed to learn
little
stories
stuff,
about
little
the Bible.
stories, okay.
I mean, you had me in Sunday school, so what did you think I was supposed to be doing
Did you learn anything?
I don't know.
See what I'm saying?
See, I went to Sunday school, and I don't know why.
Okay.
I didn't.
I just remember that my Sunday school teacher lived down the street from me, and she was... That lady has never not been old.
You know what?
That's it.
Get out. Bye. Get out. You just get off the show.
Okay. I'm just saying. That's what I remember from Sunday school.
Just get off the show.
I get that, though, because I kind of remember the same thing. All the old ladies.
They
that
all
were
look
there.
the same. It's like you just 20 and you old. You look old. You're 30 and you look old.
She been old her whole life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's past 90 now.
I think she's passed.
Last I heard, she was still alive. But anyway. So anyway, as you got older, you went to St. Timothy. And when I finally, okay, I'm getting the message and everything, I'm older, the pastor passes away.
Mm.
Yeah. So we ended up getting, you get we left I left when he passed away, stopped going. So that's when we started going out to Munster.
Mm-hmm. Family Christian Center. So one of the things that I enjoyed about Family Christian Center, and most people are against it. They don't like it. It was more dramatized. Theatrical.
Mm-hmm. I say dramatized.
It's a big word for Elmo.
I would take, what you say? I would take Mignon and my niece. We would go to church. And don't you feel like you understood?
Yeah, I do, because the pastor took the time to not just pick a scripture from the Bible and then talk about it and relate it to maybe something that was going on in his life, but he acted it out in real time so that you could see how it relates to anyone's life. Mm-hmm. And that was really helpful for me, because I would be like, what about Moses? What happened?
He literally would act things out with animals. He would bring animals on the stage, whether it
Noah's
was
Ark.
Yeah, acted out Noah's Ark. Remember when he got into the bird's nest, and remember he did the ascending on the ladder, and he would go up the ladder. He would swing from the ceiling, He would do all kind of things too.
Was this church or a circus?
This was church,
Yeah, it was church,
and
but he would go all out.
I guess.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah. And
Around,
he did 3 services on Sundays.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Around Palm Sunday, they would literally act out everything that happened from the Last Supper up until Jesus on the cross.
Wow.
Being nailed to
They
the
would
cross.
literally have the blood on the cross, and he's up there and, hung and everything. It was
with
really
all
neat.
types of animals
Wow.
walking through. And they used to do these 2 plays, Hotel Hallelujah, Heartbreak Hotel, around Halloween time. And so that was something that families could go to, as opposed to trick-or-treating or dressing up in your costumes and things like that.
Yeah.
And it was all about choices. Will you choose a life or a path that leads you to heaven, or will you choose a life or a path that leads you to hell?
Which hotel are you going in?
Right.
I got you. Okay.
And so it was a lot of different like music artists and like their real life, everything that they went through, and kind of like the choices that they made, where they may end up, or so that was one.
Like,
and
let's
then
say
the other,
like you have somebody go up there and act out as Elvis Presley, where we
Yeah.
know he
Oh,
took the
okay.
pills and drugs and everything, so he
Yeah.
chose Hotel
Yeah.
Heartbreak.
but then he got into gospel music, and so that, you know, shifted from him being Hotel Heartbreak to Hotel
over
Hallelujah.
to Hotel Hallelujah.
Okay. That's cool.
Similar with a similar situation with like Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that was always really great. I love to do that every year. And then there was another, Jesus of Nazareth, which just went through Jesus's life.
Yeah.
And that was always really deep and really just like honed in on the story.
That reminded me of something. Did you hear that Kraft, the food company Kraft, they're opening actually a new branch in Nazareth, Pennsylvania. They're calling it Cheeses of Nazareth. No,
Okay.
sorry.
You next out of here.
Dang, we both get put off on one episode.
I know, right?
You're going to be in here talking to yourself at that point. So,
She'd probably be happier.
right.
But I feel like the youngins, nowadays, they are more they watch more than they listen. They're more, you got to show them. You know
They're
what I'm saying?
tablet kids. Is that what you're talking about? The younger generation are tablet kids.
What do you mean by tab? Oh, I mean like they're always got a tablet in their
Yeah,
face?
like they
Okay.
don't interact. They're always
Like
on
I
social
feel like they would,
media.
right? They watch online. Yeah, they're watching. Even if they're looking at something about church online. They're really not going to churches anymore.
But is it true that a lot of churches after COVID switched to online services only?
They have. I think they have that option for sure.
Is that a good thing? Do you
A lot
think?
of them, you can go to church, or they still do the online. I feel like whatever way you can get it.
Yeah.
Because my grandfather used to be the kind of believer that he used to say, he would go to church with my grandmother, but he'd say, I don't need to go. I'm not going this weekend. God's with me everywhere I go. I'm going to go out in the forest.
But some people need that one-on-one. Some people need that interaction.
Yeah, it is about what you need, because I truly believe that church is not the building, it's the people.
Right. Absolutely. For sure.
And I feel like, nowadays that, they need more mentors. I feel like a lot of these young people need more mentors. I watched this movie. It was called The Forge, and it was with Priscilla Schreier. I don't know if you all know her. She's a speaker, and I mean, she's great. And the movie it was about a young boy that was lost.
Oh, I remember this movie.
And he went in, and I guess, didn't know how to go in looking for a job. And the parents were like, you better go find a job. You need to, you need to get out the house. You need to. So finally he went to this place, and there was a man there, and, he didn't know how to interview or anything. He was just in there saying whatever. And the man basically took him under his wing and taught him. And the guys would get together every week. Now this man was mentoring this young boy. Which was there for him every day, helped him to get a job.
Well, he owned the business that he was working for.
He owned the business that he came in and was working for, and he put him in his, to help him work. And it was a really good movie that he really showed. I want to tell the whole movie, but he really guided this young man to become a man. A God-fearing man, to be a man, where this boy was just out in the streets, lost, doing whatever.
He had no direction before.
No direction whatsoever. Yeah. So, I really did like that movie.
Sounds really good.
And I feel like a lot of kids need that. They need that one-on-one mentorship.
Who was a mentor for you?
That's the problem. I probably wouldn't have made all the bad choices that I made if I had a mentor.
You feel like you've never had one, or that you just had one a little too late? I feel like you still had friends that were like mentors for you along the way.
But again, like I say, well, you need to lean more on God. You need to, so did I have someone to totally this child had when they really needed someone that they could call this man, and that man was there for him? I didn't have that. It's times where friends weren't around or friends weren't there or, I'm still trying to struggle and learn on my own. I didn't have a mom to go to. I didn't have sisters to go to. Like I said, I'm learning along the journey. I'm learning the hurts and pains and bumps and, being this broken person along the way. So who did I have to mentor? Yeah.
I don't feel like I had mentors, but I do feel like I surrounded myself with like-minded people, especially when I got into college, joining the gospel choir and having that group of friends that could have fun together, but also pray together.
Which was great.
Honestly, that feels like the basis of all my friendships.
And that's nothing wrong with that. That's a great basis to have.
And we would, sing gospel music, for the campus or at different churches or do competitions against other college choirs. And so it really was like, I have this, you can feel the spirit around you. Like when the music starts, the whole room is moving. Yeah. You can feel that love, that warm embrace that happens. And
gospel choirs are some of my favorite because you, like you said, you really feel embraced. It's very powerful.
And it's something because I picked up her granny. It was around your birthday. Her birthday was coming up and we were surprising her for her birthday. And we drove down to IU and she didn't know we were coming. She was in a session, a group session with the gospel.
With the choir.
With the choir.
We were in rehearsal.
So they called her out into the hallway. So we surprised her. We had balloons and everything. And
neat.
So she was like, well, I'm in, I'm at choir rehearsal. You all want to come in? So it's like, okay, we'll come on in and sit and watch you all. It brought you to tears.
I bet it did.
These kids, their praise and worship was it was out of this world. It was like, oh my God. And then when it was all said and done, the singing was good. They all are like preaching and speaking and,
Yeah.
It was amazing.
You got to think, this is a group of 20, 25 college students. Nobody is making us do this.
Sure.
We are keeping this group going ourselves at that point. Like, we were the board. We were, doing all of the fundraising for spring and fall concerts. Like, it was us.
Yeah. And for the most part,
because we wanted to.
I'll bet it didn't really even feel like work either. I'm sure it was, but I'm saying in general, it's something you enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And it didn't make it hard. It just, I'm sure there were challenges and stuff with that, but when you have the passion, it makes it much easier to do.
I don't even, now, and don't quote me on this, but I don't even think that we were like necessarily affiliated or like a group that was sponsored by the school.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like, we had to go in and like do interviews for funds and again, do our own fundraising and everything.
So you literally did everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was amazing because when we, her granny had never seen her,
Oh my God. Do not.
I'm not going to do the granny voice.
There's a granny voice.
I'm going to try not to.
Oh, okay.
But she was really, she could not believe that she was so spiritual.
Yeah.
She never saw this side of her.
Yeah.
Never saw it. She was amazed at how spiritual Mignon was.
Do you think that a lot of the younger generation now is the same way, that they don't necessarily feel comfortable sharing their spirituality because of the kind of, I guess I hate to use the word stigmas, but there's definitely a stigma to certain religions that people have to fight through a lot harder now than they used to.
I think that a lot of young people are turned off by the judgment of the church.
I was just about to say that. I feel like these young people need like non-judgmental spaces to talk openly.
Yeah.
To express their struggles, their doubts of faith, where they can be heard. And
no shame, no blame, no guilt.
Right.
Yeah.
And they need to listen to authentic testimonies.
Yeah.
That's what I feel they need. I would love to have like group settings like that, where they could speak, they could talk, they can express their feelings. Who's here to judge you?
Well, exactly. That's the thing. Nobody.
I can. Many in the church do.
It's like I can give guidance, but I'm not here to judge. Where I would walk into a church and you got the church ladies looking like, who are you? You're being looked up and down, and where you're not feeling comfortable walking into, especially the real old churches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where they got the mothers sitting up in the front that's been there for so many years since the church was built, whatever. So you get this.
Yeah.
And that's very uncomfortable. They never come up to try to get to know you or get to meet you. Hey, I'm so-and-so, nice to meet you. Welcome. You don't get that.
Which is what church used to always be.
Exactly.
I mean, I remember so for me, it's interesting because when I grew up as a little kid, I used to go with my grandmother to church on Sundays.
Mm-hmm.
It was the Midway Manor Moravian Church. I will never forget it. And everybody was inviting and welcoming and kind and hugs and handshakes and kisses and are you coming to this and coming to that? And it was very, very nice. And you felt safe. You felt secure. But I can't imagine now anybody at any age going into a church feeling not that. But that it happens. Wow.
You have to think that people have different choices in their lifestyle, right?
Yeah.
And the people that are in the church consistently are of an older generation, and they don't necessarily understand the lifestyle that people choose. And so that comes with a lot of judgment because they also don't care to understand.
Right.
They choose to just see you are other, you are different from me, and that is an issue.
And that goes beyond church. That's just a lot of people in general anymore.
Yeah, true.
So, but especially in the church, it's disappointing to hear that it happens.
Yeah. So we went to Family Christian Center.
I'm like, what?
Going back to the churches that we had gone to, Family Christian, and I really just feel like that. And I look at online and I see where a lot of people don't like the churches that do
the mega churches
that and do the drama at the churches, and they are so against it. But if it's just like when you're in the schools, they had to find a new way to teach in school.
I'm a visual learner through and through.
Me too.
Kids weren't learning the old way, just listening to a teacher speak, and they want to see.
Well, if you expect me to just sit and listen to you talk, then you have to almost assume and guarantee, I guarantee you, I am not comprehending.
Anything at any time? Or are there some things that get through to you that way?
When I am in this position where I had to learn and take in a lot of information, like a school setting,
right? I
zone out. My attention span is very low.
Okay.
I need something else.
But that's the youngins.
Yeah.
They have very short attention spans. So how else will you get them into the churches? That's why they do the online and they do the drama and they, whatever way they can capture.
But that's why the theatrics was so good for me, because I have the attention span of like a 2-year-old. So being able to watch him fly
Swing
across the ceiling or,
you're like, this is my thing.
or walk down the center aisle on a horse or a camel, like, oh, I'm locked in. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Oh, but then small things will derail me. Like, did that horse just poop in the middle of it? Wait a minute. So I mean, it's highs and lows here.
They trust me. They clean up people to run real quick. They go,
of course.
They got their people to
the holy scoopers.
Exactly.
But it was good. And again, a lot of people didn't like it, but it kept the children's attention. And the church was packed with kids.
See, I remember again for me going to Sunday school, and I said it previously that I didn't know why I was in Sunday school. And I really didn't. It didn't seem like anything other than a way to keep us occupied as kids while grandma was doing something else, while she was helping with the church bazaar or the cooking thing or whatever it was. So I never really got anything out of it. And then I remember same with you, Mignon, when you go into the service and you're sitting there and you're like, okay, something's got to keep me awake. I need
Exactly.
something.
Exactly.
And I remember when the pastor that we had retired, and I mean, we're talking, he was 97. He made it the whole way. And then a new younger pastor came in. And it was like a re-energizing,
a whole new way of teaching.
Yeah.
And he would teach. He would speak directly to the younger people in the church. He would speak to the older people. And now, in this part of Allentown, Pennsylvania, where I grew up, it was mostly people 80 plus years old lived there. You know, so how do you relate to all those? And he did. And that was the only time that I finally got the grasp of it and went, oh. Okay, this can be entertaining. This can be fun, you know, because he would give me stories that weren't directly Bible, but were related to me. Have you ever done this? I have done that. Did you ever feel this? I did feel that, you know, and it made perfect sense. Yeah,
that was basically when Rev Ron popped up, and he started preaching like how you're talking about. He would pick something from the Bible.
Yeah,
he'll start off. But by the time he got done, it's connected to you and your life
Absolutely.
and what you're going through and what you're, you know. So they have found such a new way of preaching that it captures your attention. And they keep the Bible in it.
Yeah.
But we're gonna relate it to you right now.
Yeah. Which you have to do because everyone, like you said, has such a short attention span anymore. But I also remember when church service was 3 hours long.
Oh, yeah.
Not anymore.
And then they tell you no food, no drinks, no candy in the sanctuary. I'm like, well, how else you expect me to stay up for this 3 hour sermon or an hour and a half of this horrible singing?
Yeah, we went to the midnight candlelight service for Christmas. 2.5 hours for a 7-year-old at midnight.
That's also what I loved about Family Christian Center, though, because he had 3 services. You knew what time you were out of there.
Yeah. You had
it was
to shut it down.
What, like a 8 o'clock, a 9,
10, no, 8, 10, and 12.
Yeah. So you know, all right, I'm going to at least be out of here by 11:30 because they got to clear out the parking lot. Too.
Right. Yeah, we didn't have that. We just
and
had
the music
one.
was good.
And the music was good.
The music was good.
Also, just to rewind for a second, disclaimer. That pastor's name is not actually Rev Run. I just want to make that clear.
I assumed.
We had a good relationship. You know, I delivered the mail at the church, and he just became Rev Run. He was Pastor Robinson.
She used to call the senior pastor Pastor Al Sharpton. And the junior pastor.
I called him Reverend Al.
Reverend Al.
His name was Al.
Reverend Al.
I called him Reverend Al, and the other one was Rev Run.
Who you gonna believe?
I love it though. It's a great story.
They was cool with it.
You know,
they were cool with it.
That was the thing. Why would they not be?
Tell me this: what is it? What is something that you feel the younger generation needs to know, specifically as it relates to knowledge of the church, knowledge of God? Like you mentioned the 10 Commandments.
Yeah, I feel like what's going to happen when all hope is gone? You've never learned about Christ. You never learned God. You never learned anything.
Newsflash, we're already in that.
You know, I feel like they try it. You know, try church. If you don't have a church home, do the online. Whatever it takes to reach out, you know. Because like we were saying, you know, I think we mentioned this before in one of the other ones. Just like, do they even know what the 10 Commandments are? What do they mean?
I can tell you right now, I could maybe name one.
Which one?
Thou shalt not steal.
That's you didn't even want to go with kill first.
Oh, no. See?
You know, and the thing, you have your 10 Commandments, and, you know, we can go over them, but how many even know that they even exist?
That's a good point. That's a real good point.
Do they even know that they exist?
I feel like a lot of
the people are just out here living their lives however they want.
I think the younger generation, they're lost in that they don't have many morals, standards,
That's the
values.
Thing. And a lot of that stems is the 10 Commandments.
Right.
Yeah. Like the 10 Commandments don't scare them anymore.
It's like a free for all at this point. I'm going to do what I want to do, and why do I have to reap or have any consequences? Or why do you feel that I deserve any consequences for me doing whatever I want to do in this free world? We see it every day. It's on the news every day. People are getting away with things that they should be in jail for.
I can't imagine who one person you might be talking about. Just saying.
Ain't gonna say no names.
But no, I think you're absolutely 100% on that.
What color do y'all relate this person?
Orange.
I mean, orange.
Yeah, just saying. Did I say that out loud? I'm sorry. Where did that come from?
You're from your mouth to God's ears, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But maybe there's something I feel like in the next episode we should hit on.
The 10 Commandments?
The 10 Commandments. That there are rules and that there's a lifestyle that you should be living, that we all should be living. And we all fall short.
Sure.
We all fall short. So, for those youngins that don't know, there are rules. Just like there are rules in school. There's rules in the home. There
are consequences for your actions.
Yes, there are.
Clock it.
Yeah, there always will be. You may not realize them now. You may not have them right now, but they will eventually catch up to you. Always will. What would be nice is if we could get some folks to contribute some thoughts or questions for the next episode, knowing what you're going to talk about. Maybe get some people to hit up your socials and tag a couple questions and say, all right, so explain this.
That we can hit on and talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. I think people should.
I think that's awesome because I also believe that a lot of people don't understand the 10 Commandments either. So if we could kind of dive into that a little bit.
Dive into that on the next episode and kind of break them down.
I'll definitely be there for that one because I might even go on camera this time because I do have questions and I would love to have to break down the 10 Commandments. I will
tell you right now, I'm going to let the Bible thumper take hold of that and I'll hop in.
Okay.
I'm not a big Bible thumper. I know a little bit, I might have to, sometimes I got to read up on certain things, though. But I believe.
That's all that matters.
I believe. Okay. All right. Well, it's time to close out. This was great. And we'll start next episode with the 10 Commandments. Okay. God wants a real relationship. Not religious rituals or man-made images. He's not after golden statues or perfect church attendances. He's after your heart. Continue to love, have faith, and believe in your dreams. God can do all things. Just ask for a little help, and we're going to put them out. Peace.